Hey, we got a, what is this, a 2009?
2006.
We got a 2006 Honda Ridgeline. We had to take the radio out and have the lights in the back panel here replaced because it wasn't lighting up. What we didn't know when we pulled the radio out originally is you've got this sticker on the top of the radio and it wants you to put it in ship mode before you ship it anywhere. I think it secures the carriage that holds the CDs in place. So it says, remove all discs loaded into this product before disconnecting the power supply connector to the vehicle harness. So once you get all this stuff out and you unbolt the radio and you pull it out, you want to follow this procedure. It says, set product to ship mode and then disconnect the power supply connector before shipping. Obviously, you have to do that. Okay, so what you need to do, setting the shipment mode, switch the accessory that is on the column, switch to off. And then while simultaneously pressing the 1 and 4 buttons, switch the accessory switch on. So you want to hold the 1 and 4 buttons just like this, and then turn on the accessory switch. And once it's in shipment mode, it will confirm it by saying it's in shipment mode. So we just got this back. I'm going to show you how to get the dash apart to put this in. You want to start down here. There's a couple of little slots. Like, there's no slot here, but there is a slot here. I thought there was a slot over here, but this is where we start. Oh, and before you start, you want to tilt the steering wheel all the way down, and you want to put it all the way in drive 1 because you need this lever out of the way to get this off of here. And there's a bunch of connectors back here, so hopefully you'll be able to see how they all come out. So just very carefully, they're all little spring clips. There's no screws in it at all. So you want to very carefully pry it out so you don't break any or lose any of the clips. And especially you don't want to break this big plastic piece because I can't even imagine how much that would cost. Okay, it's loose. These wires have a little bit of play, but not enough. Obviously, you can't see what I'm doing, but there's 2 clips down here. There's a green one and a blue one, and you have to press these little buttons to be able to pull them out. You don't just pull them. You want to press this button that unlocks them. And then there's 2 more wires up here. There's a blue one. They're relatively easy to get out, believe it or not. And then there's another green one. That does it for this side. And then there's 2 more back here. There is a gray one. There. Then there's a green one. Okay. Then there's this main one for the climate control here. The button is on the bottom. It's a pretty big clip. I don't know why they didn't put the button on the top, but they put it on the bottom and it's hard to see. And even harder to get off. You'll be able to see all these connectors once I get this big plastic piece out of the way. There is a gray one here. And that's for the cargo light, I believe. All right, I think I have them all out. So now you carefully tilt this. Just kind of work it out of your way. Put it off to the side. Okay, as you can see, here are 2 clips. Here are 2 more clips. These 2 are down here. This little gray one is here. And then this is the main climate control one. Now, you can actually put it back in park and turn all that off. this is the bracket here that holds the radio in place. It also holds the this little tray and the hazard switch. You have to take, there's 4 bolts that hold it in place. Because once you get this bracket out of here, we've got to, I think there's 8 bolts that hold the radio to this metal bracket. All right.
Look like there's one more on the bottom right.
So there is. So there's 5 bolts that hold this thing in place. All right. So this just comes right out. There's another clip here. You might be able to see. Right there is the little button that you push. You push that in, and you wiggle it out, just like that. Now, radio goes in the middle of this. There's like little pins in the bottom, and it's there. Instead, there's 3 pins that stick into that tray to keep it lined up. And then we got these 4 bolts. They're the short ones. You want to make sure you use the short ones instead of the long ones, because if you try to use the long ones, you're going to bugger something up inside the radio. It might short out a circuit board or whatever. I'm not sure, and I don't want to find out. But this is pretty easy, pretty straightforward, as you can see. It just takes knowing where all the clips are and how not to break the stuff. I didn't put much torque on that, just, I don't know, maybe 5 foot-pounds I would have to guess.
We'll keep in mind too, I normally don't talk much during these videos, but if you took this to a dealership or any shop to get this done, you're talking real big money to do this. If you did this yourself, you're going to save a lot of money, because this is very labor intensive if you take it somewhere.
Well, they charge high shop hourly rates.
So this is for the guy that's wanting to do it yourself.
Alright, now that we got that secured, there are 4 connectors across the back of here. This one, I believe, is the antenna connection. That's this gray one right here. And then, of course, all the rest of these are pretty well foolproof, because they will only fit in the certain slot that it's intended for. Just don't force anything. Try not to get the plug in crooked. And usually what I'll do is I'll put the longest corded connector in first, because that gives me more space. So I'm putting the hazard light control connector in first. And all these are about the same length. So here's the big blue one. Goes all the way closest to the driver. And then here's a fine white one. And it's actually got a slot in it, so it'll only fit just this one way. And you can actually hear it snap when it's in place. And then the only one we got left is the antenna one. Right there. And carefully put all this back where it came from. These screws are quite a bit longer. They have to be. Get it started in the dash. This also has little alignment pins too, so it keeps it centered for when you put the dash cover back on. This one's not cooperating. Neither is that one. Not sure why this one's a little bit tight. Maybe at some point in the past it got cross-threaded, but or the threads got a little bunged up, but we got that one in. This one concerns me.
Yeah, worst case scenario, we could run a tap through there, but
Either a tap or we'll do a little thread chaser on the threads. It's got to be metric, of course, because it's Japanese. Alright, we're going to have to try to figure out why that one's not working, but you get the general idea. Let's turn the ignition on and see if the radio and everything. Alright, I'm going to enter the code. Of course, all you know how to do that, so we're not going to show you the code for this particular vehicle. Alright, the radio just came back on. It's showing, alright, there we go. The radio works. Apparently, by punching the code in, we've taken it out of shipment mode. I wasn't sure if that was going to happen or not, but it seems to be in regular mode again. So, all we got to do, I got to deal with this screw right here. I don't want to waste your time with more video, but remember, when you put this back in, you already have the steering wheel all the way down, put the gear select all the way down, carefully work it back into place, and don't forget any of these connectors, because if you do, stuff is not going to work. So I think that'll conclude the video, and any comments or questions, just put it in the section below, and I'll try to answer your questions. Thanks.